Okay, so we were just talking about, and I want to show a few more images that kind of show the kind of power that they would convey. Another great image for this is a plaque of Urnanche from the city-state of Lagash. So here he is, and again, you have all these people kind of looking up to him. He's bigger than anybody else, showing that he's more important. That's called a hieratic scale, and when you make the important people look bigger. And again, this sort of relationship. He's so what this is the plaque on a temple, and showing the kind of work that was needed to build the temple. So here he is celebrating the temple, and here he is sort of leading the way, bringing the food, getting that to the temple. And interestingly, the writing on here would have said much the same thing. So this is one of the earliest examples of a captioned picture, something that has both writing and image worked into it. Then we have the vulture stele of Aenatum. You don't necessarily need to remember all these, but just know that these are different pieces of evidence that we have for priest kings. This one shows a figure, we think a god, holding a bunch of the king's enemies captive. And then on the other side, we have fragments of the armies gathered for battle, carrying their spears and wearing helmets. So this again shows the kind of power you're in good with the god's going to keep you in power. That seems to be the idea that a lot of these priest kings are working with. Okay, now let's look at some artifacts from the royal tombs of Ur. Ur being one of the most important of these city-states. Basically, you had this area where about 100 different kings were buried. Kings and queens of Ur were buried in this tomb, and they took their artifacts with them, probably thinking to take them with them to the afterlife. One that is absolutely magnificent is this bull's head lyre, a lyre being a musical instrument like a harp. Bowls are very important in ancient Mesopotamia, and you see this bull's head. Notice that the bowl is of both gold and lapis lazuli. Now, the thing about lapis lazuli is, like I said, Mesopotamia has very little in the way of minerals. You can't get lapis lazuli in Mesopotamia. You might be able to get gold, but for lapis lazuli, you usually have to go to Afghanistan, or the ancient equivalent of Afghanistan. And so that's what these guys far away, just by the fact that they had lapis lazuli in their decorations and in their art. And we've seen that same gold and lapis lazuli aesthetic in lots of other places too. The image is also interesting. There seems to be scenes from mythology that we understand involving a lot of people. Like, look at these animals having a party. You've got some of the fire, kind of similar to the one that we have here. You've got them drinking drinks from drinking cups. You've got a scorpion, which we have seen glimpses of Scorpion Man people in mythology. This guy has been called the monster tamer because he has these bulls, although they have a human head, so they might be Lamassu. But he's sort of in control of them, or it seems like some sort of person who has